Hello. Oh, this is after a long time. I'm here live with you, and I'm really happy to share this topic with you. The topic is active listening and for better relationships. And I decided to talk about active listening today because recently I've been on one just a meetup with girlfriends, and one friend of mine, she was so eager to meet me because I've been traveling for a long time. And after every question that she gave to me, because she was really interested in what I'm going through, she started to talk about her vacations, about her traveling. And after fourth or fifth question that she was asking me, and then she started to talk over me, I said, okay, maybe she just don't want to hear what I have to say, or I'm not good enough for her, or I don't know. I thought I just don't matter, and I got this bad feeling in my mouth, and I just said, okay, now I'm gonna start asking questions because yeah, I like to do that, and I just focused all my attention to her. And that's why the active listening is so important, because if we don't listen to each other, then it's like we don't care. We give impression that we don't care, but we do care, and it's good that we practice this kind of stuff and we try to do it. So if you won't listen to the end, please just listen to this. Promise me that you will try at least today to, with one person, doesn't matter who, practice active listening. So you can practice active listening with your spouse, with your children, with your parents, with your friends, with your co-workers. You can practice active listening with the stranger on the street, or when you are waiting by the doctor, or you are waiting for the bus to come. So active listening is really essential skill, and it's a way of really focusing on the person who is speaking. So that means that we give the other person the full attention, both with our ears and our eyes. So we don't just hear the words, but we also try to understand their point of view and what they are going through, what the other person has to say. And we don't jump to conclusions. We don't want to save them. We don't want to tell them what to do, or just take the spotlight on us and tell them what we were going through when we were in similar situation that they were. So if you hear somebody saying something, and then after like 20% of their words they are saying, you just start to formulate the answer you're going to give them, that is not, I repeat, that is not active listening. It's a learned way of communication, because we like to share, we like to discuss things. But if you want to deepen your relationship, just try for once really be engaged in conversation. So you can use verbal cues like paraphrasing or clarifying, so that you show the other person that you understand them, and you encourage the speaker to elaborate on their thoughts and feelings. So you can say, okay, tell me more, I'm really curious, so what was this for you like? Or you just can ask a lot of different questions. But don't try to talk about your experiences, or don't try to interrupt them or judge them, or just jump to some conclusions. It's important that you are maintaining eye contact and use the open body language, okay? So don't cross your arms and just look like you are a crampy old guy, but just try to be really attentive. And try to understand both the verbal and non-verbal aspects of communication. And yeah, active listening is really a skill that can improve your communication, deepen your relationship, and understanding each other. It is more than just a simple conversation, because you show to the other person that you really care, that you want to know them better, that you want to learn more about their life. And that really deepens our relationships. They are not just some artificial relationships like with acquaintances, but you really gain good friends with that. But remember, it is important to practice, it is important to do that often, and just to be willing to try. And now I'm going to tell you what are the advantages also if you are active listening when you're in relationship. And it doesn't matter if it's a spouse, if it's a child, or if it's somebody you just met. You can improve your communication. And when you truly understand, when you truly hear the other person, then you can respond more thoughtfully. You can respond better, in a better way. So this kind of listening and understanding the other person, it helps you build a stronger connection with somebody else. You can also build trust because you understand what the other person is saying. And when you engage really actively into the conversation, you start building trust, and it's really amazing when you feel that somebody is listening to you, what you have to say, with really this genuine need to hear you, to get to know you. Also, it's really good if you are in some kind of conflict, so you can really reduce your conflicts with good active listening. So what I mean by that is, imagine that you have one opinion and the other person, the person B, has another opinion. And one really good technique is that I like, but you have to be both for it, is that, okay, now I want you to tell me your opinion on the topic, whatever. And you just listen. Maybe you take 5 minutes for each, and you just listen. And after the person B stops, you start and paraphrase everything what they said. You start to repeat everything what they said, like in your words. Okay, I heard you said that. Did I understand you correct when you said that? Did you mean this and this and this? And when the other person says yes, then it's your turn, and you say your part of the story, what you want to share. And the other person says, like, repeats after you what he or she thought that you said. And this is a really good way to resolve conflicts, because we are listening to each other, and the other person cannot say, oh, you don't understand me, because we do understand them. We give them validation, we give them affirmation, and it's okay if we just don't click. It's okay if we don't share the opinions with each other. But if we are in a relationship and we want to deepen it, it's really good that we understand each other, and we want to find just some resolution for everything what we're going through, because this is being vulnerable, and this is being open to discussion, and this is being willing to make some changes. So this is really good for problem solving and also for learning and growth, because when we listen to some other person's opinion that differs from ours, we really learn a lot. If we want to. I don't say that we will learn, but we can learn. So if I'm listening to somebody who is speaking something that I don't agree on, and I really want to understand them, and I really soak in all the words, and I ask them questions, I ask some deeper meaning for why they are thinking the way they are thinking, then I can also shape my thinking. Because it's not, maybe my thinking is also wrong. Not everything is black and white. We have also a lot of shades of gray in between. And if I'm willing to open my mind, to grow, to expand my knowledge, then it's okay also to listen to somebody that I don't agree with. And if the other person is doing the same, then this would be a really good world to live in. Do you agree? Just type in the comments. I'm really curious, when was the last time, if ever, that you were really actively engaged in some conversation, that you were really listening to somebody without interrupting, without judging, without thinking what you're gonna say back, without forming some answers in your mind, that you were really listening to somebody on the other side. And you can say never, it's okay, we are here to learn something new, or you can say today, or maybe 1 month ago, or doesn't matter. We're not here to judge, we're not here to make some conclusions, we are here just to learn something new and to improve ourselves and our communication skills. And this is all what we are aiming for today. So I wanted to share also some exercises with you, how you can start practicing active listening. And one is that I was already talking about, it's reflective listening, when one person speaks about some specific topic and the other one actively listens. And after the speaker is finished with their topic, the listener reflects back on what they learned, what they heard, what they thought the other person was talking about. And then you switch the roles. So you can put a timer on, so you can have 5 minutes for each, and then you just switch, or you just can explore one topic until you want to. The other one is 5-minute daily check-in. So if you have a partner, if you have a spouse or some really good friend, you can talk with them and make an arrangement that every day for 5 minutes you will do some daily check-in. So you can talk about your day, you can talk about your experiences, what happened with you in your day, or you can talk about your thoughts, your emotions, it doesn't matter. As long as you listen, as long as you want to understand the other person, and you just try to really get them to know better. And this can be like 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes for each, and then you switch, and you do this like once a week, every day, once per month. But you have to set, okay, now it's our time. Now we're gonna practice active listening. The other exercise is that you say to yourself, you make a promise to yourself that you're gonna do active listening today till the end of the day, or the next day, let's say tomorrow till 6. And you just listen without interrupting. And it doesn't matter to who. You can listen to somebody in the elevator, you ask them questions and listen to them. You just really make a conscious effort to not interrupt somebody who is speaking. And I can tell you, this is much harder than it seems like. It's really hard just to listen and really not interrupting, not thinking about your experiences, but just listen to what the other is saying. And this exercise is also teaching you patience, and it can create a really safe space for communication. So it's a really good exercise. You can also, the other technique is that you and your partner are listening to the music, and you pick one song, you both listen to it, and then you talk about it. So how did you like the lyrics? How did you like the music, the sounds? Did the sound maybe bring up any emotion, any memory? And then you just talk about this. You can also go to a storytelling circle. I am in one community that we practice storytelling, and this is really, really important. So, and we try also to listen without interrupting. And you can, when you are listening to somebody, you can take a notepad and just write down like a journal of active listening. Some questions that you get that arise or some memories that flashed, or just something that crossed your mind when you were listening to the story of the other person. And afterwards you have this written, and you can just reflect on them, ask them some deeper questions, some for more clarification, or whatever you want to ask. So this is also a good one. And with this storytelling circle, the practice goes like this. So one person, you set a timer for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute, tells a story, and the others are listening. And then you can have a tennis ball, or you just can go in the circle around. If you have a tennis ball, the person who is talking just throws a ball to one other person in the room, and the other person has to go from this story on. Or you can make it like from story to story, that stories are just going on. Or you can also make it, if you get the ball or another one in the line, can just repeat what they heard. Okay, I heard you said this. I'm curious about this topic a little bit more. Can you tell me more? And then that person shares their story and then tosses the ball to the other one. So these are all some practices that you can do, that you can practice. It's really good if you have this in you, that you have the ability to listen really closely to somebody, and it really helps deepen our relationship. And I can stress this enough because it's really important, and especially in this era that we are living in, it's really important that we hear each other, that we listen to each other, and that we have patience, and that we have compassion towards each other, and that we are respectful. Because there is a lot going on, and many, especially the young people among us, they feel like they are not heard. And I hear that so many times from my customers, from my clients, that they are just not heard. They are among a lot of people, but they feel really alone deep inside. Because whenever they want to share something, somebody else just stomps all over them with their words. And this is not the goal. The goal is that we share our stories, our life with other people, and that we listen to them when they share theirs. And this is what I want to leave you with today. Just please share your stories, tell your stories, and whenever somebody else is speaking, listen to them. And I really encourage you to do at least one exercise I've been talking about, or is this talking with your partner, doing these 5-minute check-ins, daily check-ins, or that you say to yourself, like, today, 1 hour when I'm gonna be among friends, I'm gonna really listen them actively, not interrupting, not jumping to conclusions, not sharing my own stories. Yes, you share your story when it's your turn, but not just in between. Okay? So let's make a promise to ourselves that today or tomorrow or every day for a couple of minutes, we're gonna practice active listening, we're gonna practice our patience, and we're gonna be really mindful about conversations that are going on among the people that we are talking to. So I hope you like this one, this little short live, and hope we see each other soon, and just have a great day with a lot of active listening. So bye bye, have a good day, ciao.